Let's talk charts. A nautical chart is basically a street map for boaters. We'll look at types of charts, how to find them, and how to read them. Okay, types of charts. Just like street maps, nautical charts used to be big, gorgeous printed sheets, which eventually became PDFs as well. Now, however, the charts that NOAA supports are purely digital and are meant to be used on a screen. Larger boats use chart plotter screens, and you can get the same functionality on your computer and mobile devices. However, when you're on the water, the most useful chart is often a laminated sheet under your deck bungees. That could be a problem for us because the electronic charts that are designed for screens don't make good printouts. However, NOAA recognizes the problem, and it makes versions of its electronic charts that are designed to be printed. In addition, the old PDF charts remain available. NOAA doesn't support or update them, but for our purposes, they'll go out of date very slowly. That's why they're the basis for the BASK custom charts of the bay and neighboring waters, which you can get through the trip planner and floating trails. Where to go for your nautical charts depends on how you're going to use them. On your phone, you may want a chart app. This one is Navionics, which also has a web version for desktop use. And there are many other apps and viewers for electronic charts. However, within the Bay Area, we often go to floating trails or the trip planner. In floating trails, the default map layer is this printout-friendly version of NOAA's electronic charts. It has depth numbers and it gives notation for buoys and navigation markers. You want that notation when you make a printout for use on your deck. At least at present, exactly which buoys display notation can vary with your zoom level, so you may still have to augment your printed chart with a pen. Excitingly, for the Bay Area and the Northeast, Floating Trails also has a tiled version of NOAA's old PDF charts. Because these charts were designed for print, they give maximally legible printouts. As alternatives to a compass rose, these options let you add lines oriented toward magnetic north and a grid oriented on true north. And finally, Floating Trails lets you make a custom PDF from any chart or map layer, and it allows you to share map views. Here's the trip planner. These two map layers give two flavors of NOAA's electronic charts. This classic one is easier on the eyes than the Ectus version, but it lacks sounding numbers, so it isn't really meant for print. One thing to realize about the electronic chart layers in Floating Trails and the trip planner is that they're not active. You can't click on a feature to get more info. In an actual chart app or chart viewer, features are clickable, and that's often how you would get info about something like a buoy. Earlier we saw how Floating Trails lets you make custom charts and map views. NOAA has a custom chart tool of its own that lets you make custom PDFs from electronic charts. Let me say that the tools in Floating Trails are more capable and a lot easier to use than NOAA's custom chart tool. However, if you're interested, the homework links to a page with some tips. To summarize, originally, nautical charts were printed sheets with PDFs added later. Then, NOAA created its electronic charts. The first generation of those were designed for screens, but NOAA has since added printout-friendly versions. As a source for charts, Floating Trails and the Trip Planner are convenient. Floating Trails also has a map layer for the old PDF charts, and it lets you make and share custom charts. There are also plenty of dedicated chart viewer and chart plotter apps and sites, which are particularly useful for your mobile devices or for when you leave the Bay Area. Finally, although NOAA no longer updates the old PDF charts, they remain available.